경기장 도시락.
All right, so here at the bottom left-hand corner of Antigua Shipyard, we have our pink Terran player hailing from Team Empire. He is BeastyQt, and his opponent in the top right-hand corner from Complexity MVP, Chad MFN Jones, Mr. Minigun.
All right. Is this something that some inside joke I don't know about with Minigun?
Chad MFN Jones, man.
I'm sorry.
Oh, it's been going around the interbutts for a while, so
okay.
it's the standard nickname now for Mr. Minigun. So
all right,
there we go.
Sounds good.
Akon requests that we call him Chaticus Rex at times, but
Chaticus Rex.
Yeah, I talked to Minigun about that.
Wow.
And he doesn't like Chaticus Rex as much, but Chad MFN Jones is appropriate apparently. So go with that.
Suppose they know each other back from the Root days.
That's true. Yep. That's true. Root Minigun. I'd love to see in one of these tournaments or something like that, everyone from Root get together and they compete as a team. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, be interesting.
Yeah.
They had a pretty good team back in the day, too.
Yes, they did. Between, if you think about QXC and Chef on top of Minigun and Kiwi Cocky and Slush, and yeah. So, all right. So let's see here. Haley coming down for Minigun. His opponent, BeastyQt. We'll see if he's going to bypass gas or if he is going to. This would be about the moment he'd take it, and looks like he's working past it for now, queuing up his 14th and 15th SCVs.
Yep, he's going to be going for that command center right after the barracks without any gas. Nice little economical start for him. And, you know, really with that build, you can get that economy going and you can hold out pretty much everything a Protoss can throw at you. So it's a perfectly safe thing to do. And I wouldn't be surprised at all to see Minigun, on the other side do a Nexus after his gateway. Yeah. It's kind of both of those guys going for really, really safe expands.
Yeah, that's certainly likely on this map because the expands, I like when the expands are even a little bit farther away as the crow flies than the mains are, because it makes them a little bit safer and just makes for a little bit more fun macro-oriented game.
Yeah, well, Antigua Shipyard is a map that I really like, actually. I think it's a map with a lot of interesting stuff. It's much, much better now that there are no... Oh, we do still have gold patches in this one. Never mind.
I will say, though, that I believe for IPL 4 for the tournament itself, that's all going to be removed.
Okay, that's good.
I think I can go ahead and say that.
Okay.
So.
Yep. Well, I love this map either way, gold minerals or no, but it's better without gold.
Well, not enough Terran bias from you, honestly. So
no, of course. Well, I'm a Terran player, but I also am a realist. You know.
Yeah.
I don't like things in there that throw these like weird random things into the game, like gold minerals. I don't know. I've just been on a campaign against gold minerals for like my entire StarCraft 2 experience, basically. So that's just me, just my own personal preference.
That is quite all right. I do not hold that against you, except as my inner Terran fanboy. So
now I think it'd be interesting maybe to do something where you had like your natural, but then you had a third that was fairly close, but still a little bit farther away that had maybe like 2 out of the 6 patches were gold. That might be kind of interesting.
Yeah, that'd be kind of interesting.
Just to kind of give you a risk-reward sort of situation.
That would be kind of bizarre, actually.
Yeah, it would be. I don't know.
Thinking all colors of the rainbow.
That's right.
We have
bunkers up just in time.
Yep, 2 more barracks following this up as well. So we'll see if he adds any more. If he goes right from 3 racks into the into double gas and starts going after upgrades, medevacs, etc.
Yeah, I'm sure we're going to see a gas or 2 here because he's not putting down that 4th barrack, so it's not going to be that heavy powering build that we see sometimes. Yep, there's the 2 gas.
Yep,
so
double gas on the way. And
hey,
what? You sure? What? No, can't go.
All right. Well, there's a robo from Minigun, but what BeastyQt can do from here is really anything he wants. I mean, most players would go into medevacs at this point, but you can also go for a very upgrade-heavy style, or you can go for ghosts and do sort of an early push with that as well. So those are kind of the 3 things we see a lot from Terrans right now.
And Minigun, on the other hand, decided to put down 2nd gateway, then robo, then 3rd gate. So,
yep.
You know, a lot of times.
Gate, robo gate.
Yep, gate, robo gate. So I feel like I need to turn that into some sort of like a bad song. You know those like pretend rap songs that they used to do for like inspirational videos for like the Dare program and stuff like that. They used to like do, this is cool and hip now, so I feel like we need to make a StarCraft version of that. Gate, rope, gate.
I could hear your voice being used for one of those too, actually.
Oh, I don't know if that's a compliment or not.
Well, it's, you know, it tells me that you could get work with your voice, but so that's good. That's a compliment, right?
I have a backup career. Thank you.
That's right. Do maybe some after-school specials or something like that.
Sit down, kids. Let me tell you about the gate. All right, that's kind of... Maria does die, but we have Marauders coming up now along with Stim for the time being. And Minigun backing away with his Stalker, now done with pressure, doesn't want to get caught. Finding a bio unit sitting in the middle, and still just working off that 3-gate robo, and boom! That is a robotics bay, so we're going to see some early Colossi here.
Yeah, this is very similar to the build we saw InControl do just the other day, where he did this on Daybreak, made a very good little timing push. It's a build that was very popular on the North American server, and apparently still is to a certain extent, but we didn't see it, we didn't see it very regularly for a long time. But, you know, StarCraft is a bit cyclical in that builds kind of come back after a while, so I think we might see sort of a resurgence. Oh, but no, we have a Warp Prism coming out, so is he possibly going to go for Warp Prism speed with this instead?
Well, we'll find out.
Possible. I think it's probably going to be Colossi, but there is an option that it could be a Warp Prism speed build, do a lot of harassment and things like that. In the meantime, we've got BCQT going for Metavacs, which I think on this map is probably the best out of the choices you have as Terran going into the mid-game. There's a lot of places you can drop.
And indeed, Minigun is going to go after Colossi with Thermal Lance right away, so the Warp Prism is out, making its way around the top left-hand corner. We'll see if he's able to disrupt BCQT a little bit. Man, BCQT investing in quite a bit of infrastructure at the moment. I've noticed that he does go after the later add-on timings and stuff like that. So, yeah, now throwing them down with the rest of his barracks. And we are going to see some Metavacs in just a second. So, +1, Stim, all finishing up at about the same time with Metavacs hitting the field.
Yep, that's right. Kind of using the opportunity of having a little bit more money to pay for those Metavacs. That's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of cheating a little bit because you aren't producing bio the entire time, so you're not going to have quite as large of an army as you would. You know, otherwise, I mean, if he would kind of wait with the 4th and 5th barracks, get the reactors a little bit earlier, you can kind of keep making stuff all along. But, you know, it's definitely one way you can do it. Kind of look at the situation, decide if it's going to be safe or not.
The Observer did see BCQT's forces move out, and the Warp Prism sitting over on the left-hand side waiting for the opportune moment.
Yeah, this would be an opportune moment.
Yeah, definitely.
That's for sure.
All right, well, he's got a pylon for Warpins up at the front as well. BCQT is moving out. There's already, I was about to say, a second Colossus has already popped out. Thermal Lance going to finish up here in just a second. Minigun getting ready for this army. He wants to trap it. He knows it's there. He catches BCQT off guard a little bit, throws down some force fields, and BCQT is able to get away with a number of his forces, but still pretty big loss.
Yeah, he lost a lot, though. He lost at least a third, if not more, of his bio forces there, and in this situation, you're very, very, very vulnerable to a counterattack. Trying to make Vikings, but of course those are not going to be out in time. Right. You're going to have 2 Vikings maybe at all. And where's that Warp Prism? That's where I'm wondering.
Still there.
All right. Okay, looks like he's going to move into the main as he pushes in front. Good decision.
Yeah, I would have thought that would have dropped in, though. I think Minigun had an opportunity to do some real damage on both fronts as well. But this is still not going to be bad by any stretch of the imagination, don't get me wrong. Because as Ultra Warp begins delaying all the mining off of one base, we have a couple of Vikings sitting out now, and they're going to have to press in just a second. But the first round of supply depots have already gone down. Bunkers look like they are going to finish, but just barely. No, actually, the SCV died on both of them just before they finished, just a mere second or two.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Minigun's looking pretty good here. He's able to do some damage in the main, force the SCVs out for a little while, and BCQT just doesn't have the army to handle this. He does have some Vikings out right now, but when the SCVs come off the line, you know, things are not looking good for the Terran player.
No, he may be able to push back Minigun right now, but Minigun picked off a lot of Vikings. He killed a lot of the army, and he also killed 23 workers. That's a 63 to 38 worker disadvantage. Now, yes, he killed a lot of Colossi there, but Minigun still walks out with a pretty big advantage.
Yeah, he absolutely needs to go home right now. There is a point in time where if you push that too hard and you lose your army, even if they did sacrifice a bunch of their SCVs to push you out, they can still counterattack and possibly kill you. So Minigun needed to be very careful, decided to move back. That was definitely the right decision to make.
And, you know, the one thing BastyQt really has going for him is that this orbital command was sitting there the entire time, so he can lift that over to his third increase his mining up as well and try and play a little bit of catch-up. So Minigun sitting on 3 bases pretty comfortably at the moment, but and reinforcing pretty well in addition. But, you know, BastyQt certainly not out of it yet, but he's got his work cut out for him.
Yep. That's absolutely right. He can take his third, though. He was making that command center the entire time. So he's still, you know, he's a little bit behind right now. I think the worker count might reflect that, but he's still in pretty good shape. Yeah, 44 SCVs to 70 probes, so quite a bit behind in the worker count right now. But
yeah.
He's got time. Minigun is going to be waiting a while before he moves out. He's going for that Twilight tech. Might decide to just use it for upgrades, but this would be a good time to start Templar as well. Since, well, I was going to say since there's no Ghost Academy, but it's actually on the way right now for BastyQt,
yes.
so...
Yep, just coming up, so it looks like Minigun going to rely on his Colossi for at least a little bit longer. And let's see here, +1 armor is on the way. No second forge yet, I believe, though. It looks like BastyQt is going to try and push right now.
This is really dangerous for Minigun, actually. He has a good amount of Colossi, but his Gateway army is a little bit small right now. I think it just might barely be enough, though, yeah. He has enough now.
Yeah, BastyQt running away for the moment. And it looks like he is going to opt for a drop now and try and pull his opponent's army out of position a bit. Ooh, he's actually going to go through the destructible debris, too.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Always nice to be able to attack into that area.
We have charge coming up now with +1, just about +1 armor, just about to finish up. So scans Minigun again, so that he sets in a little more defensive position. Oh no, where are those Colossi going? Oh, that would have been a disaster, but this may be bad enough already because we have a drop going on in the main at the same time that a lot of units are running through to the third. This Nexus is in danger of falling. That would be a disaster by itself, but this big drop making its way through as well. The Nexus does go down. It looks like the Forge is going to get torched as well, and just not a lot sitting here for Minigun. He's just being a little bit picked apart.
Yep, that's right. BastyQt doing a ton of damage here with the drop and the push. Although he needs to be careful. Minigun can make a pretty strong counter push here too, and that's exactly what he's doing.
All right, yeah, Minigun still does have the supply advantage, but he's down at base now. His opponent is reinforcing well. We'll see if he can make this stick and start doing some economic damage on his own. There's really not a lot out for BastyQt, and Minigun, ooh, picking off those Vikings pretty well before they're able to land too many shots on the Colossi.
Yeah, BastyQt kind of in that situation where he feels like he needs to make something happen, but he just doesn't have the resources to go all the way through with it, and Minigun is just going to absolutely crush this army. And that is going to be about it. Yeah, some nice moves here and there from BastyQt, but overall, just not strong enough to take out Minigun.
Yeah, and there was a drop going on at the same time, but Minigun was reinforcing that and was going to be able to take that out pretty easily. So Complexity MVP takes another game, and they are up 2-1 right now. Chad, MF, and Jones looking pretty strong.